This poem is "A Picture is Worth 886 Words." Her name was Allison. Allison or Beatrice, Beatrice or Hyacinth. Like the flower, but not spelled like the flower. I'm not one of those guys who forget women's names. I'm one of those guys who's distracted in this particular constellation of memory by having taken a picture of my penis long ago that did not include my penis. Things were going well with Allison or Beatrice or Hyacinth. So well we knew we'd make love soon, or to wax pronounly. We knew we were going to do it. But Allison or Beatrice or Hyacinth was very honest and very smart and very shy and very hurt at least once. For she had the idea that we each take a picture of our naked selves and share these photographic confessions. That way, if one of us didn't like what we saw, we could demur without rejecting actual flesh. Actual, maybe sagging or strangely asymmetrical or gothically tattooed flesh. In the moment of its unveiling, that phase of a relationship that should be accompanied by the phrase, ta-da! I loved the idea. The overwhelming sense of photorealism it would add to my life. But when I stripped, brought the camera to eye and aimed it at the mirror, I laughed. Laughed and thought, Johnson, Wang, Schlong, Puddle Rudder, Meatsicle. And noticed once more that the penis, especially the flaccid penis, appears to be what God was working on when the phone rang. So I tucked it between my legs and snapped away. In tucking it away, I was tucking away the absurdity of language and the organ's significant lack of utility in its casual state of existence. It was a whim, honestly, not an admission of a secret wardrobe or dimensional concerns. And knowing Allison or Beatrice or Hyacinth as I thought I did, I felt she'd find it cute, endearing even. That one day we'd tell our oldest child, when we were secretly stoned, just to make her blush, to make him vomit in his brain. But after the date when we exchanged envelopes, I never heard from Allison or Beatrice or Hyacinth, whose picture, by the way, not only revealed a beautiful woman, but a fine sense of composition, due largely to the Van Gogh print behind her left shoulder that suggested she was, among other things, a starry night. Minutes to hours to days to weeks, time did what it does that makes us compare it to sand and water and really old people in orthopedic shoes. When I couldn't take it anymore, couldn't abide that she ignored my calls and wouldn't ring me up, and accepted that I didn't want to be a stalker, as lovely as the lifestyle sounds, I did what anyone would do who once attempted to unfreeze a gas cap with a lighter. I bought a tube of lipstick, Cherry's Jubilee, I think, because of course a lipstick called Cherry's Jubilee would be cheap and noticeable, and wrote on her windshield, I have a penis. If you're thinking a note would have done, a letter, a message on her answering machine, some skywriting even would have been better. I only have this to say. You obviously have a frontal lobe, whereas I am bereft of such concerns. So I'd written in large letters what I never thought I'd have reason to write, when this woman, this older woman, insensible everything, sensible coat and shoes and hat and skin, I found her skin eminently sensible, and how it held the parts of her that were supposed to be inside. She stopped and gave a little tug on her dog, her dachshund, I want to say, probably because I had a dachshund as a child, Snippy the miniature dachshund, which even at 10 seemed redundant, for I saw no especially large dachshunds, no Godzilla dachshunds, I needed to worry about distinguishing from the lesser dachshunds. She stopped and gave a tug on her dog and read what I'd written in my frankly impressive block letters. I was and remain quite legible, whether confessing I have a penis or writing on the whiteboard on the fridge, eggs, peace of mind, so my wife and I won't forget what we want from life. She was there and leaning toward the windshield, the dog leaning the way dogs do when people stop, as if they know it's a mistake for living organisms to stop, ever. She leaned and looked at the windshield, at me, at the windshield, at me, and whispered very softly, as if her lips were tiptoeing, as if her voice were a match in a room of gasoline. So do I. And smiled, the best smile I'd ever seen. A smile that made me think she'd waited her whole life to admit this to someone on the street. Someone with obviously a few things to work out. And that's the Cheshire smile for me. The smile that hangs in the air, that follows and gives me the feeling I can yet be who I am. And her name was Allison, Allison, Allison. Like the song, the beautiful song I'm singing as I type this, singing in my head, where I am a wonderful singer, as are we all. Thank you very much.